This is basically a scar I had in Iraq. This scar I had in basic training. I have a 6-inch titanium plate with 6 screws. I'm probably going to end up having more surgery on my knee. One of the toughest points of my life was I had a really bad mental breakdown. It was between what happened overseas to losing a friend who committed suicide when we came back to decisions I've made during my lifetime and not being able to be athletic anymore, not being able to run anymore. Just a lot of things with the anxiety and everything else that happened to a point where when they pulled me over, I couldn't hang myself because my rope was in my trunk and I couldn't cut myself as hard as it was. I tried, couldn't do it. So I had about 200 pills I brought from a CVS store. It was, so I ended up taking all the pills and I woke up in a hospital bed, handcuffed with a tube down my throat, with hearing all these pills come out my throat.
I went back home and a lot of things didn't work out, and I had to leave just about immediately after I got back. And I moved down to LA with the little money I had left to start pursuing some goals and dreams. I went to the VA, and they, after a few days, I was able to come down here thanks to whatever they did. And I am currently at the Salvation Army shelter right now. After getting out, without having too many or just about anyone to rely on and no finance, it became a hell of a struggle. I've dealt with this before, but going through it again is not something that I like to do, and I don't really feel like anyone should have to go through being financially unstable, homeless, and have no family or friends. And I see that with a lot of veterans. I'm a lot younger, mind you. I have my own issues, but things can go better for people. Not everyone wants to be a bum.
I've done 2 combat deployment rotations to Afghanistan, and I suffered major fatigueness while I was over there with my mental and my physical health. I was afraid to sleep with my daughter because I aggressively move around in my sleep, and sometimes I could be very violent. With all the things that occurred with me and all of those situations, it lead me up to this point, checking into a shelter. I lost my wife, my daughter.
We veterans came home eager to continue with our civilian lives, only to find ourselves enmeshed in dysfunctional pathologies that erode confidence, dampen spirits, and lead too many of us to self-destruction. It is now time for a new model, one that outreaches and assists veterans struggling with the imperative transition of veteran to civilian. And we, the new breed, with our objectives of inclusion and community, are here to fulfill it. We discovered that we were so deficient in effective foundation skills to navigate our civilian culture that we found ourselves isolated. Among us are those who got divorced, got evicted from residences, faced criminal charges, and most tragically, contemplated suicide. All of that is now remarkably changed through our meeting with and guidance from Caldwell Williams. Caldwell, who withdrew from retirement, has introduced to us to the possibility of returning home and discovering a new, purposeful, and goals-driven identity. And with our newly established skills, we are able to break previously unbroken barriers.
Combat or war inflicts invisible injury upon every participant. Those who've served and who now suffer now need to heal from their invisible wounds. To protect and to defend our homeland, our government invests great time and resources to mold.
So dealing with PTSD is something that requires a sophisticated sort of method of self-discovery to be able to. I wound up in Caldwell Williams program, and everything that they talked about was put to words the things I felt that I couldn't say. The information I had gleaned, the personal insights I had, it was as if someone had already gone through it and had pieced it all together and understood how a person goes through this self-transformation discovery, this transition from having wounds into using them to become whole and complete. And that's what Caldwell Williams program does.
Our medical science community has only begun to recognize the calamity of these wounds in this, the 21st century, to mold these malleable youth into weapons of war. No less time and resources are needed to stop their self-destruction. We initiate veteran healing and self-reliance. This enables them to launch a successful civilian journey. Together, we civilians can do this.
We are the new breed, and we are going to change that. And we can't wait for you to join us.
We have found a program that is helping us heal our invisible wounds. We are willing to do the work, but we need your help. Please donate. Reach out to Caldwell Williams at 310-734-8944. That's Caldwell Williams at 310-734-8944.